Hi, I'm Shayla L. Bennett, and welcome to Envision Your Life. Having vision in your life is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. But the truth is, most of us have no idea what that means. I am on a mission to empower you by teaching you how to create vision in your life. I will share with you the lessons and principles I have learned and applied to my own life. Principles are an effective way of learning for life application. Once you know the principle for a thing, you can apply it to any area of your life. I will inspire you to dream and to dream big. I will expand your vision for what's possible in your life. And I will motivate you to live and fulfill your destiny. So if you're ready, let's get started. Today, I want to begin by sharing one of the things that is probably closest and dearest to my own heart. It's the definitions for vision. Now, I know some of you are wondering, really, Shayla? That's the big thing that you've got to share with me? Well, in fact, it is. Here's the thing about definitions. I've learned that when people are clear about the general definition about something, that gets them at least on the right track. But you could be on the right track and on the wrong train. And the wrong train could take you in the wrong direction. So I really want to help us start out not only on the right track, but on the right train, going in the same direction together. I'm going to give you 3 of my own definitions for vision. Shayla, why 3 definitions? Well, it started with 1. But as I've grown and I've learned, I've gotten some things that I would like to share with you. And I don't believe in having to duplicate what I've been through in order to get where I am. I think that you can kind of jump over a couple of hurdles if I can, move them out of the way for you. So let's start with my very first definition. This definition is one that I got several years ago, and it really helped clear the path for me for what I believe about vision. And this is very specifically vision for your life. Having vision for your life is just essential. And I'm going to get back to that in a little bit. But this definition really set the pace for what I believe and what I walk in now. Vision is a vivid picture you create with your imagination. It takes you past what is currently present or available into a world that you design with your faith, using your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, your desires, and your personal passions. That was the very first definition I got. And I know that that's a mouthful, so we're going to take a minute and we're going to break that down. A vivid picture that you create with your imagination. It's important that you imagine, that you dream, that you begin to fill yourself up with possibilities. One of the most dangerous things I think that exists in our world now is that there are so many people that have very limited imagination, very limited ideas of possibilities in their life. And it's important to me that you have an active imagination. Now, I know that some people are going to say, whoa, your imagination can get out of control. Well, that's where the next part comes in. It's that that it's your imagination that takes you past what is currently present. Currently present, you may be living in an apartment. But if you expand your imagination, you can believe for living in a house. That's actually how I got my home. And then you can expand your vision from a starter home, whatever size it may be, into a bigger home. Maybe it's just renting a home, but just being able to believe that it's possible. For me, it was huge to believe that it was possible that not only could I be in a home or be in an apartment, I could own it. It could be mine. And so that's what I want to help you get to. It's going to take you what's currently present or available. Maybe what you have available right now is $100, but you want to be able to imagine having thousands of dollars, because when you see it, you can have it. But that's for another podcast. And then it's something that you design with your faith. Now, I'm a person of faith. I'm a Christian. It's where I stand and I believe. I know everybody doesn't, but that's where I stand and I believe. And I think it's your faith that activates what you want in your life. But you're never going to get to the place of faith until you can first imagine it. You're going to use your hopes. You're going to use your dreams. You're going to use your ambitions. You're going to use your desires. A lot of people use desires as a negative, but desires are important. You desire food. You desire a mate. You desire a home. You can desire good things. It's just how you do use your desires that make them good or bad. Desires in themselves are not bad, so we're not going to have that. And then personal passions. There are lots of things that I am personally extremely passionate about. And those passions motivate me to move and to do things in my life, not only for myself, but for other people. And I think that it's important that you connect your personal passions to your imagination, to your faith, in order to design this new world that you want to live in. So again, that definition from the very top, it is a vivid picture that you create with your imagination. Not I create with my imagination for you, not you create with your imagination for somebody else, but your imagination that you create for you, that takes you past what is currently present or available into a world that you design with your faith, using your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, your desires, and your personal passions. So that's definition number one. Definition number two is seeing with the eyes of faith the life you would like to live. Now that's probably a simplified version of the first definition, but I think it's just as empowering and as important. Seeing with the eyes of faith the life you would like to live. There are times that I go in and I see or I visit a friend and they have something that I don't have. But seeing what they have, I'm like, I think I like that. I don't want it quite that way. I want it like this or I want it like that, but I can see it. And then I start to think about how I want to live, how I want to move, not just day to day in my life, but moment to moment. What kind of things do I want to be able to do? What kind of places do I want to be able to go? What kind of experiences do I want to be able to have? That's what I want for you. Here's our final definition. Being able to see off in the distance the thing you desire. Now that's a new definition for me. But as I was sitting and I was contemplating sharing this with you, I was actually sitting on the third floor of the library here, and I was just looking off at the distance, and I was like, wow, can I imagine this? Can I imagine that? I really push myself about what I can and I cannot imagine. And I encourage you to do the same thing. Now, let me tell you why your imagination and having vision is important. When you're clear on where you want to go, you start moving in that direction. It's kind of like getting in your car. If you get in your car and you have no idea where you want to go, the chances of you getting anywhere are pretty slim. And even once you get there, well, why are you there? Do you have business there? Do you have something you need to do? How much time do you waste if you don't know where you first want to go? Well, that's kind of my point. And and at the price of gas these days, you really don't want to be squandering where you want to go. You want to be able to effectively get there. So you want to be clear on where you want to go. Some of us know we want to go somewhere, but we don't know where that place is. Well, that can be just as dangerous. That ends up with a lot of frustration, a lot of anger, a lot of hesitation in life, really just a lot of delay. And you don't want to be delayed another second in your life. So how about we define where we want to go? And how we're going to begin to define where we want to go is by asking yourself this one question. What do I want? I know, provocative, right? Mind blowing. Well, here's the thing. Until I sat down and I asked myself that question, I really didn't know what I wanted. I had no idea what I wanted to accomplish. No idea where I wanted to go. No idea what I wanted to do because I didn't ask myself, Shayla, what do you want? Do you want to go back to graduate school? Do you want to live in this city or this town or this area? Do you want to drive a car or a truck? Like I remember going to test drive vehicles. And one of the very first things that they ask you when you get there is, well, what kind of car are you thinking about? Crickets. Loud, chirping, springtime crickets. Because I had no idea. Well, a car, a truck, an SUV, yeah. And that's what you're going to get to. You're not going to get any further in having a vision until you know what you want. When you're practical, when you've sat down and thought through what you want, then there's some things that start to open up for you. Possibilities, choices. You should have choices in life. That's what you've designed for. That's what you're meant for. But that requires you being an active part of your own life. So, I'm going to end this podcast with this very simple question. And I want you to spend the next 7 days thinking about it. What do you want? I know that it's going to seem really simple, but it may be a little more complicated than you think. Be truthful with yourself. Don't put limits on your expectations or even your desires. Sit down, write it down. What do you want? And I'll see you next week. Thanks for sharing my passion, and I will see you soon. Bye.